Well, if your daughter calls you from college and says, Dad, I'm going to pose for Playboy magazine, how do you feel? Mom, I'm going to be in Playboy magazine. Heidi or Heather, tell them you are a student at Cal State Fullerton. You appear in Playboy's October 1990 issue featuring women of the Big West. You're a college student, and they came to campus, and you said, why not?
Oh, I loved it. I've always wanted to see what I would look like compared to the Playmates, those girls in there. My mom thinks it's wonderful. My grandma says, oh, that's wonderful.
Your grandmother liked this.
My grandmother saw the issue and loved it.
Right. Let me give you I'll give you a chance here to make your case here, but you should also know who else is here. Colleen Seeley joins us. You're a student at Wells College, an all-women college, proudly situated in Aurora, New York. You are also president of the student government. Let me tell you what Playboy wants to do. They want to have a feature of women from all women's colleges. And holy cow, one such all-women's college, proud to be, is Wells. Colleen, what's wrong with this idea?
The problem is their focus, that they are focusing on women at women's colleges, and I have no problem that's your issue that they came to a co-ed school, but this is my territory. And this is our territory, and we have a vested interest in this. We have chosen a women's college because we are aware of the issues. We are aware we take ourselves, all parts of ourselves, seriously.
Well, but so do the women at Cal State, can we say that?
I'm not saying that they're not.
Let me just understand your misgiving here, Miss Seeley. You feel, first of all, featuring women from all women's colleges upsets you, whereas you have no problem with granting this choice to women who go to co-ed college.
That's freedom of choice. I'm not about to take away anyone's freedom of choice. What I do have the problem with is their focus, as I said, but
You think you have a proprietary, what did you want to say? You are Terry Sue McMinn. You likewise appear in Playboy's October 1990 issue. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Appear somewhere. There's an edited picture. Terry, how would you respond to Colleen?
Whose right is it to say if another girl from your school, is that okay?
It's a woman.
If another woman from your school would like to do it just because you don't want to do it, how do you feel about that?
I am not saying we're not taking away anyone's freedom of choice. If you want to pose as an individual, you pose, and you have your individual.
It's the slug on the column, all women's colleges.
I also think that the problem in these
Let
magazines...
me just tell, I want you to, you are Gail Dines. Do I understand this? You are a PhD, Dr. Dines. You are a professor at Wheelock College, an all-woman college in Boston, Mass.
It's not all women. It's not all women. It's actually co-ed. Playboy couldn't even get their research correct.
My apologies to you. You've researched images of... Playboy what?
Playboy couldn't even get its research correct because we actually got men in our college and they assumed it was all women.
Oh, I see. But you have been familiarly known as an all-woman college.
Yeah, incorrectly. But the issue really, what goes on here, is that in magazines, when you have women of the Ivy League, which is what they do, or women of women's colleges...
Big Ten, Big Pac East, all that.
What you're doing is you're saying this represents woman. This represents women of the Ivy League. They don't call it, I don't know, Debbie, Sue, and Kate of the Ivy League. They put the thing women. And what women really are against is the fact that that is saying it's all women. And in pornography and in Playboy, what women are reduced to is basically masturbation facilitators.
Oh,
they take away... What do you think men do to it? You think they look at the pictures? What do you think they do to it? They look at the pictures. I suggest you read some research on what pornography is all about.
You may.
Thank you.
Just let me... Heidi Ellis, 1986, graduate of Mills College in Oakland, California. I think I correctly state that you are an all-women's school. You were photographed and selected to appear in the Playboy spread titled Women of...
Don't use the word spread, please.
Pictorial. Sorry.
Bill. Thank you.
See, if you don't help me, I can't grow here. I'll struggle along here. You shocked everyone, Heidi, by suddenly changing your mind. How so?
Well, I have to tell you that through the week when I was on tour with Playboy in Boston, I heard a great deal, I saw a great deal, and I learned a great deal. And as a result of this, I could no longer do this as a personal choice that I wanted to appear in a magazine, but it ignited into a larger political issue, and I became enlightened and realized the impact that these images have on women, and I could no longer participate.
Very good. Let me just understand this. Heidi, I just want to straighten this out. Heidi, you have been published, so to speak, in Playboy.
I have not been published. The photo 2-day shoot has taken place.
I see. So the reaction that changed your mind came from people who knew that you had been photographed but had not yet seen the
Yeah,
photograph.
I mean, it immediately ignited into an event.
So you've withdrawn your consent, so to speak.
Through the press and through the points
Tell me
that the
some of the
women
things
had.
you heard that changed your mind, Heidi.
Well, a lot of words struck me, like responsibility and objectification, how I could hear that these women, the poses, how they objectified the women, and that I have a responsibility to assume that this has an impact on women, not only women's colleges, but women alike.
Good. You're certainly disappointed Playboy with that decision.
I'd like to congratulate you as well. I think that's wonderful.
Now, Heidi, just one more thing for Heidi. You'll get a chance here. Heidi, do I understand that in the future, now you've already have been photographed, and you're saying that you've denied now permission for Playboy to publish, which I assume they don't. They probably got you signed, and legally...
They don't have a signed photo released from me. It remains to be seen what
It's hard to imagine
Playboy
they would
does
photograph
with
you
the
without
photos.
that release.
Look what they did to Vanna White, and look what they did to people like that.
Right, well, now...
They've destroyed other careers.
Let me, Heidi, are you foursquare against this under all circumstances? Would you in the future, as an adult individual person, not a part of any college pictorial, consent to this kind of artwork on yourself?
These are very serious issues, and hypothetically speaking, it's difficult just to give you a direct response.
It is fair to say, then, that your wheels have turned, haven't they? And you've had a significant
yes, they have.
change. Okay.
I'm in a transitional period right now, and I'm understanding the impact, and I would have to say that not only would I not be able to participate in the Women's from Women's College feature, but I would venture to say that I would not be able to participate in any feature with Playboy magazine.
Okay. We haven't heard from Susan Harper. Susan, you are a student at Simmons College in Boston. Likewise, all women. You are also proudly serving as president of the Student Government Association, and you oppose this whole idea. Tell us why.
I oppose the idea of the fact that Playboy, that there are, for the short-term gamble, there are long-term consequences. And as we just said, there are many women who have paid a high price for this. And we're talking about women who are going into professional careers, such as someone like Cecilia Borg, the woman who was the New York City police woman, and she posed for Playboy, and what happened to her? She was suspended. She went through a 3-year legal battle to get her job back. Is it worth it? That is what I think the issue has to be looked at. Well, that is your decision, and I'm not saying, wait, excuse me a second, I'm not saying that it is not your decision, but you must think about if you want to go into a full-blown career in corporate America, in any sector, if you want to be a physician, a doctor, or if you want to be a respected individual, you may jeopardize. And I'm not saying you may or may not, but who says that you are not exempted? That is the question.
Well received. I work for an international pharmaceutical company.
And you are still a college student now. You do not know what may happen 20 years down the road, like these women did not know at the time either.
I have a brain. I can work around that.
Well,
you have the brain, but this is society. We are not the rule makers. Society makes the rules, okay?
We make our own rules.
You're not changing the rules.
By the rules they have set. They have said that in order to be out there and to be looked at as a woman, you take your clothes off. When I walk into a room, somebody doesn't say, wow, there goes a great PhD. That's not how men relate to women.
Are you upset about that?
I'm very upset about that because I don't want to be reduced to a sex object. We go to school, we go to education.
It's a reduction in your perception?
No, it's not my
your
perception.
perception.
That is empirically verified information.
Okay, you may have the best intentions in the world when you decide to pose, but like it or not, you have no control over how it is received.
And how they view you.
They're not photographing your brain, they're not photographing your personality, they're photographing your body. That is the primary focus.
I'm proud of it. Do you have a problem with my body?
No.
I love my body.
No, that is not it. But you are setting yourself up to be judged by some third person Who cares what some third person?
third person thinks.
This third person may control what you
If they're
do.
that ignorant, I don't want to know
I
their
think the anger
perception.
should be over
don't wanna
here.
get involved
I think
with
the
that.
anger should be over here at the men who make money from pornography. They use women's bodies as baits in this. Women, you will be forgotten this time next year. He will be rich, and that's what happens in
I hope
pornography.
so.
Men read it, they consume it, and they make it.
If I could just elaborate on that a little bit.
Wait a minute.
We'll give you a chance. You get to speak, Jeff, I promise. Hang on 1 second. Please, Susan.
I read an old article in the Times that said that it wasn't inherent what was in the photograph, but what was important is who she was, who she is now in the future. And they were using the example of Madonna, Suzanne Summers, who was commissioned, but her photographs were never used. But 10 years later, when she became a big star, it was used.
So they lie around in a file somewhere, and when you least...
And some person makes lots of money, and the other person suffers the consequences in the career and is spending a lot of money in court.
You need no help to make your... These very thoughtful young women need no help from me, but it is also true, if I'm understanding part of your grievance, that Playboy has, in your opinion, an unfair advantage in the sense that it offers money that young women on college campuses otherwise would not be able to get. It's a quickie check.
I didn't even know.
No,
I did not even know they were going to pay.
Jeff Cohen, who are you? You are managing photo editor, Playboy magazine. You do the pictorials, and you've done this for 14 years.
Yes.
You want them to know there's no abuse, nobody touches anybody, you treat them with dignity, and you don't go out and seduce them from behind a bush. You set up your little trailer there, whatever you have.
We put out the word that
Here's
we're
your
in
ad.
town.
Let me show them the
That's
ad.
right.
How would you respond to this? Would you respond to this ad if you were... this is what they put, for example, I assume you get in college newspapers when permitted, huh?
Yes, but not yes, we do.
Okay, so, and then the idea is that the women then voluntarily present themselves as candidates for the pictorial. Mr.
Right.
Cohen, sir, wanted to say.
Where did I want to begin? Number one, I'm not a pornographer. Let's start with that. I don't feel that Playboy exhibits any pornographic tendencies. The magazine, if you women have, I'm sure you haven't, if you tend to read the magazine, you find... Okay, and what did you find about it?
It's pornographic, there's no question.
It is.
Absolutely.
What percentage, let me ask you, what percentage of the images in the magazine have to deal with naked women?
Well,
Do you have
in
any
terms
idea?
of, we're not just talking about nudity, that's not just pornography. It's a far more complex definition of pornography that I'm employing. I'm not saying that you take your clothes off and that's pornography. Pornography, first and foremost, says that the woman is sexually available to all men. And in Playboy, the women all look the same. They have this half semi-orgasmic dumb expression on their face, their lips open, their bodies organised towards the man. And what the role of that woman in that magazine is to facilitate masturbation in the consumer. And that, in my mind, is pornography because it denigrates women as a group.
Is that what you do with the magazine? How do you know what other people do with the magazine?
I'm sorry to tell you that your picture is being masturbated to. You have to deal with that. There's no question.
Is it the
Are you
same thing?
research?
Because yours is
There's
not.
lots and lots of research. Yes, absolutely. I would really like my naked body masturbated to by all men who I don't know. That's exactly what I got a PhD for. That's exactly what I went to university for. I got my PhD for.
All men don't do that. That's not, I mean, pictures of women.
I'm afraid to tell you that studies show that's what men use it.
Where do you
But
draw
do
the
they
line
use
between
Playboy for
art?
this
Of
reason?
course they
How
use
do you know they use
You know they use Playboy because
They do
I've
not.
just finished my
Your
doctorate
doctorate, I
on
know.
Playboy, and Hugh Hefner himself said in 1973, I think it was, he says, we take the girls out, he said, and this magazine will die like a dead dog. And I also want to say that Playboy refers to the Centerfolds as dogs. Which dog are we going to have this month?
And that
Now,
was
you
in
tell me this is a magazine that
1973.
likes women?
There's no question if we took the women out of the magazine.
So
we
why?
would
So
not...
what do they do? Just look at the women and say, her body's
No,
really
it's
nice
a package.
proportion.
It's
really
entertainment.
nice.
It's no different than a movie that you go to see.
They see masturbation as entertainment. do you
Unfortunately,
know?
having been on both sides, it is very frustrating to me when you have such valid points, and I've been on both sides. It frustrates me when there's an expression of such anger in proving a point, because I think that alienates the very men and women who support and respect that we are trying to earn in making these points.
I want to say this anger because pornography is linked to rape. 1 in 3 women in this country will be raped in her lifetime. How else do you respond to that statistic without anger? I'm angry for those women. I'm angry for the 1 in 4 children that are sexually abused. There is no other emotion. I understand that. But you have to realize we're talking about women's lives here, and that is bound to bring up anger.
Doctor, there's nobody in this audience who wants to quarrel with you about the importance of indignation on this. It really does look like the boys are beating up the girls in greater numbers than ever before, and that how Playboy may contribute to this phenomenon is, I hope the doctor will agree, at very least problematic. The other question I would have for you is, you know, accepting your position regarding masturbation, you know, why do you care?
I'll tell you why I care. Because
I mean, is it any of anybody else's business? And if this is a man, please.
It's really important to understand this, is that as women, and especially I lecture at Wheelock College, what we try and do is empower women in order to earn a living in a society where women are poorer than they've ever been in their lives. What we need is for men and women to look at women with dignity, to see us as whole human beings, because then you will employ us and then you will relate to us as human beings. As soon as you take away our personhood and our wholeness, you reduce us. And in the eyes of men, we become something to see in terms of sex. Now, how can you ask a man who held power in this society to view us as human beings and to pay us a decent wage that makes us live with dignity? It cuts across that. I'm afraid that I know lots of men, I teach lots of men, and I can tell you that in my studies and in my research with men, when they read pornography, they say that they have a very hard time relating to women as human beings. Well, I'm afraid it is. If you
in your definition.
Really, my argument's not with you. My argument's with him anyway. My argument's not with you. That's your personal agenda. He's the pimp, and he should be argued with.
I want to say that I enjoyed it. I love it. The media did not take me seriously. When I was trying to impress points upon them, I realized that the form within which I was working, that they had preconceptions about the woman who would associate herself with Playboy.
They thought she was easy.
Or a bimbo or unintelligent. I did not get an understanding that my ideas were being listened to at all.
They were all
I
probably
felt that
staring at your chest.
It was, I mean, a major magazine television show came in to interview me, and the first question was, and they knew I had some ideas about needing a feminist middle ground and less anger, and instead the first question was, so, hon, can you put on a bathing suit for us now?
I haven't gotten that.
Yes. Please let me try one. I thank you for calling. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Phil. I'm a girl from Ferris State University, and my opinion about these ladies that are posing for Playboy, I think that they have every right in the world to do it. And for the simple reason that it is in the...
What is the simple reason?
The amendment says that we have the right to do and say what we want. Here at Ferris State University, we're having a hard time with 2 Live Crew. We had them come. Our president said we couldn't do something. I think it's our right to do what we want to do as women. And I am a woman at a university, and I think we have every right. And for the sake of saying masturbation with these, my boyfriend and a lot of my boyfriend's friends do buy these Playboys. And I can tell that lady right there on television that my boyfriend does not masturbate to Playboy.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, do you read the magazine, caller?
Well, I've seen it previously, like lying around in my boyfriend's room, but I don't personally read it myself, no.
Yeah. Do you worry about not being able to ever meet the airbrushed, finely lit, wonderfully photographed human forms that you find in this magazine?
No, I've never had a problem with it. I think that it's every woman's right to do what they want, and if they feel that it's right, then they should be able to do it.
Does the personal choice argument have any impact at all on you, Doctor?
No, I'll tell you why. Well, one of the things that feminism did try to establish years ago is that the personal is political, okay? Now, it's the same thing, is that, unfortunately, if we could say that this is an individual woman, this is what she's doing, but it has incredible ramifications for the position of women in society. Now, of course, I'm not going to say that you can't do it, because women have been told 1,000 times what they can and can't do. What I'm saying to women is let's fight for a world where we are giving dignity and we don't have to take our clothes off in order to be looked at.
May I just ask you before our break, I'm not a language expert, but are you a UK citizen, born in the UK?
Yes, I was born in the UK.
Here's my question. I am struck on the occasion of every visit to London, and I give myself away perhaps to tell you, every page 4 or 5 or 6, 3, is it page 3? Yeah. Here we have frontal nudity in the daily papers in a country that disallows, that Mrs. Thatcher would ban spy novels that presume to give away secrets. I can't get over this. You yourself must be struck by You can show breasts in the daily papers of London, but you never better publish Spy Catcher.
Because
here in the United States, you know, nobody would dare to presume to stop a novel from being published, and yet we wouldn't think of putting bare breasts in, for example, the New York Post or any other tabloid. What's going on?
Well, I think the issue there, first of all, is that women's bodies are cheap, okay? They're everywhere. They're splattered everywhere. But in England, you have what's called the Official Secrets Act, which you don't have here, which means that she can evoke certain laws to stop that. But, I mean, Thatcher and the government have never really been opposed to pornography, the same way as the government in this country. Everyone screamed about the Meese Commission. Why the right wing were in power in this country, pornography went from $5 million a year to $10 billion. So you've never had a government that has done a concerted effort against pornography.
You wish we did?
I know. I would like the people to take hold of what's going on. And I would like especially the women to become vocal and to talk about what pornography means in their lives.
And we'll be back in just a moment. Well, if your daughter calls you from college and says, Dad, I'm going to pose for Playboy magazine, how do you feel? Mom, I'm going to be in Playboy magazine. Heidi or Heather, tell them you are a student at Cal State Fullerton. You appear in Playboy's October 1990 issue featuring women of the Big West. You're a college student, and they came to campus, and you said, why not?
Oh, I loved it. I've always wanted to see what I would look like compared to the Playmates, those girls in there. My mom thinks it's wonderful. My grandma says, oh, that's wonderful.
Your grandmother liked this.
My grandmother saw the issue and loved it.
Right. Let me give you, I'll give you a chance here to make your case here, but you should also know who else is here. Colleen Seeley joins us. You're a student at Wells College, an all-women college, proudly situated in Aurora, New York. You are also president of the student government. Let me tell you what Playboy wants to do. They want to have a feature of women from all women's colleges. And holy cow, one such all-women's college, proud to be, is Wells. Colleen, what's wrong with this idea?
The problem is their focus, that they are focusing on women at women's colleges, and I have no problem that's your issue that they came to a co-ed school, but this is my territory, and this is our territory, and we have a vested interest in this. We have chosen a women's college because we are aware of the issues. We are aware we take ourselves, all parts of ourselves, seriously.
Well, but so do the women at Cal State, can we say that?
I'm not saying that they're not.
Let me just understand your misgiving here, Miss Seeley. You feel, first of all, featuring women from all women's colleges upsets you, whereas you have no problem with granting this choice to women who go to co-ed college.
That's freedom of choice. I'm not about to take away anyone's freedom of choice. What I do have the problem with is their focus, as I said, but
You think you have a proprietary, what did you want to say? You are Terry Sue McMinn. You likewise appear in Playboy's October 1990 issue. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Appear somewhere. There's an edited picture. Terry, how would you respond to Colleen?
Whose right is it to say? If another girl from your school, is that okay?
It's a woman.
If another woman from your school would like to do it, just because you don't want to do it, how do you feel about that?
I am not saying we're not taking away anyone's freedom of choice. If you want to pose as an individual, you pose, and you have your individual.
It's the slug on the column, all women's colleges.
I also think that the problem in these
Let me just tell.
Hi, I feel like I have jet lag, but wasn't the point of this women in women's colleges?
Let's review this. Thank you for. This is my job, and however imperfect.
Well, I adore you anyway.
Here's the point. Miss Seeley and others step forward to say, first of all, they think all this nude women stuff just objectifies women. But there is a specific issue here, and that is Playboy's intention for its next April issue to feature the women of women's colleges in its pictorial review and steps forward now women from women's colleges, 2 of whom are president of the student body, to say that, you know, one of the reasons they made this choice of a all-women's college is to ensure that women learn and grow in an atmosphere not influenced by the male culture that would presume to come in and come down from the mountain and tell you what's good for you. And they think that the presence of a naked woman from a woman's college besmears the image of women's colleges everywhere. How am I doing?
Women in general. No. I feel that Playboy is using women's colleges as a marketing ploy, just as they've used the Ivy League colleges and the co-ed colleges.
Well, but it sounds to me, Susan, as though your grievance is different, though. That Cal State Fullerton can send a co-ed into the pictorial review, but not...
No, that is not true, and I do not believe that at all.
You're
I believe
consistent,
all women outside of college and inside of college, but using the women's colleges as a marketing ploy, especially because there has been a renewed enthusiasm for women's colleges ever since the mill.
And you think this might hurt that?
No, I'm not saying it might or it may not. But I'm saying that is why they're tapping into the women's colleges right now.
Well, I agree. I think that this is a horrible marketing ploy for women's colleges, and that's why it's 1990 and women need
a lot more. Would potential candidates for a women's college be likely to change their mind about a college because one of its members would choose to do this?
Unfortunately, it's the reputation.
I don't think that's exactly the core of the issue here. I think the core of the issue is much more not just women's colleges, but what it does to women in general, because Playboy's going to come out 11 other months of the year with pictures of women, and I'm not concerned with just that one issue. I think we have to be concerned with the whole 12 months.
We understand.
You're going to go to college forever with all these women. You're going to have to learn to deal with corporate America and men someday.
You'll be brief, I know you.
You have to deal with
I'm already dealing with them.
To dispel the first theory of the woman who called earlier, I happen to think that the doctor on the panel who opposes the Playboy Centerfolds is very attractive, and I think, the point really being that there's just a lot of malarkey, and the real issue...
In just a moment, we're going to take a secret vote among the women about you, so...
Well, but another point I was curious, with the women who do oppose the Centerfolds, I was wondering how you feel about the Chippendale displays and, you know, these hunk men that you see on the streets. I'm wondering if that...
Male strippers, is that different?
It's a completely different issue. Male strippers. Because you have to look at the power dynamics that's going on. When a woman gets up and takes her clothes off, she is vulnerable in so much as men who are looking have the ability and the power to rape women. When a man gets his clothes off, the women are often embarrassed and they're giggling. They haven't got the power to do violence against this man, and that's the political context in which men take their clothes off.
The fact that our society is so repressed, the nudity is a big deal. A woman who takes her clothes off should be made vulnerable. No, nudity does not equal sex, and it shouldn't.
Absolutely. Playboy perpetuates that myth.
That's what Playboy is doing.
Look at Europe.
Yes.
Thank you.
To the caller's request, plus college ed and workers and everyone else, housewife, I oppose to it, because men are raping your minds. When you actually enroll into college to get an education, to get more dignity and self-esteem and business and all that, once he enters, he's actually stealing you of your intelligence and your beauty. You have a power. You're intelligent, you're beautiful, you're a good housewife, you're born to have children and everything like that. You should actually just say no to him.
Are we being punished because we're pretty? Is that the problem?
No, what I'm saying is love yourself.
I was born like this. I can't help it.
No
I also
to him.
have a brain.
You're getting off the issue, okay? Your personal looks are not the issue.
I know.
Excuse me.
I'm nice from the inside.
Excuse me, pretty girls. I have one question. Are you from New York, or do you wander around the streets of New York very often? No. If you had, okay, one advantage, it's nice to be a pretty girl, what people think is a pretty girl, but when you walk through the streets of New York, you can't walk through without hearing comments, without being grabbed. You're on the subway, you're being attacked.
So
you tend to feel very violated. No.
I didn't do it today. We went shopping. I was not wandering around in revealing clothing.
It doesn't matter.
It does
I
matter.
wear the biggest, baggiest clothes I can at times, and you can't help it. Women go through a lot of stuff. I would feel... I mean, I tend to feel so violated when I walk through the streets.
These
I don't know how
pictorials enhance your vulnerability, then?
Yes, I do.
These pictorials say that women are vulnerable. We're just waiting to be penetrated by any man out there.
And we'll be back in just a moment. Again, no small question. Do nude photos of women as they are commercially distributed in magazines and other places make your baby sister more vulnerable, not to mention your mother and your grandmother too? Yes,
Yes, I had a comment, Phil. First, I'd like to say you look great in person.
Thank you.
And I'm really happy to be here. I'd like to ask the editor here, or the one who picks out the picture, do you go through some type of psychological interview, or how do you pick these women? And are college women really strong enough to really feel they know what decisions they're making? Yeah. I don't want to take anything away from the people who've done it. I think you're beautiful, and I feel like when I first came to the show, if you want to do it, fine. It's you, fine, solid. But now I kind of, listening to the doctor, it's kind of like reevaluating
you
my...
go out of here confused, you know? You know, really, there are many, many days that'd just be just as well for me if I avoided my own show. Jeff, well, those are very good questions. What do you want to say?
I would hope that women, especially the women who are attending the women's colleges, are preparing themselves and are getting the education to make decisions on their own.
We know you hope that. She wants to know whether or not... How do you know?
Are they capable of making this decision?
Well, sure. I mean, you know, we can only wonder what happens inside the family of a young woman who makes this choice. I mean, holy cow, I want to tell you something. I don't want this call from my daughter.
But these are the things she has to weigh.
And she wants to know whether the woman at that age is, you know, is
I mean,
this a good idea?
for instance, I have a daughter who's 3 years old. Okay, and she, excuse me, 6 years old. Forgot, that's my son. I got 3 kids. All right, slow down. And when the time comes that my daughter will be 18 years of age, and she comes to me and she says, Dad, Playboy is at Northwestern, and I want to go out. What do you think?
Well, we know your answer.
No. What's my answer?
You want to go out? You mean you want to get your picture taken?
She wants to try out for Playboy.
You're going to say yes.
I'm going to say you make the... I hope that she will make that decision.
Well, we would expect you to say that.
Anecdote that just happened. There was, in Hustler, every month there was, to show the links between pornography and violence, the cartoon editor of Hustler was called Dwayne Tinsley, and every month he used to do a cartoon called Chester the Molester, which was a picture of a man molesting little girls. He'd be lying at the bottom of a slide, and a little girl would be coming down with her legs open, he'd have his tongue sticking out, okay? Just let me finish my story. Now, Dwayne Tinsley has just been found guilty for molesting children. And the girl who he molested for years said that those cartoons were a documentation of her molestation. So I want to say that there is a link between pornography and violence on a very real level.
Between Hustler and Playboy.
Let me remind us.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Terry Sue McMinn is a student at the University of California at Irvine. You also appeared in Playboys. You are in the Playboy issue as we speak here. And I'm not sure I made this clear. Your feature is in a pictorial titled Women of the Big West. So... what are you thinking here? Tell us. I want to give you a clean shot here, Terry. What?
I just don't want to argue. I want to hear the point again. We're getting way broad here.
Put us back.
I think that everyone should have the right to do what they want to do, whether they're in a women's college or a college anywhere in the world. Let them choose. You can't make the decision for everyone.
We're not trying to make the
Let
decision
them
for
decide.
I assume they don't want the brown shirts to come and arrest you and pull you out of your dorms and send you to jail. What they do want to do, I guess, is have you consider the position that you may be enhancing.
I did, fully. Educational marketing ploy, is it not?
Women's colleges.
Why did he choose the women of women's colleges?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. What is the rationale?
It's a marketing idea.
It's a great idea.
Why?
For our readers. For the readers.
No, for Playboy's profits. Let's make that perfect. They'll have to
listen, I'm not going to deny that. We're going to sell magazines.
Any woman anywhere. They don't care whether she goes to a woman's college.
Yes.
All I want to say is, like, with the masturbation thing,
yeah.
Isn't it just as well, I mean, I would rather have my 18-year-old son stay at home and masturbate to Playboy than go out and get 500 different diseases or some girl pregnant. And can't they be thought of as having beautiful bodies and minds? I mean... And also, she said she went on an interview and they wanted to see her in a bathing suit. Well, of course, because she had just posed nude. If she had just done a hair thing.
She felt like objectivized at that time.
But that's all I wanted to say.
But that's what sells the issue, is the fact that these women are intelligent. I think that that's the big selling point. These are real women who have brains, and they're there. They're real people.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
My question is for Heidi, is that it? Yeah. Heidi, what was the responsibility that Playboy put upon you, and do you feel that 17, 18, 19-year-old college students can...
make that decision?
Right.
Well, Playboy didn't put any... the responsibility, not that Playboy put on me, let me clarify, is that I realized my responsibility to understand, as I'm learning, the impact that these images have on both men and women, and I need to assume responsibility that if I participate with Playboy magazine, I must assume responsibility for the impact.
If you joined us late, Heidi Ellis had consented to a pictorial review in Playboy, had her picture taken, and then found, were you being ogled? Is that it? These pictures were never published and you've changed your mind.
It was a series of events. It would, obviously, I can't list them in
Nobody
detail
cared
now,
about you from the neck up then, huh?
But it was through the treatment of the press, both abbreviated and their preconceived notions of me, combined with conversations I had with women and the points that they raised. It was a total process that progressed towards enlightenment.
Hi. I just wanted to know, these ladies that pose for this magazine, why are you doing it? Is it for the money? And when you're doing it, are you thinking about the youth, the younger ones of us that have to live up to that? Or you all do this, but it affects the youth and us later.
And hopefully it'll keep people a little more open-minded about nudity and sex, and that this is not necessarily sexual.
Did it enhance your own self-image?
Yes,
I love
it did.
it.
You
Yes,
felt
it
good
did.
about it, huh?
Yeah.
I felt wonderful about
I had a very positive experience.
Yes,
and it's
ma'am.
still ongoing.
Yes.
I have a comment for the young lady in green. You said you worked for a major pharmaceutical company. If you're in college, how can you work for some pharmaceutical company? And in what capacity do you work? If you're in sales, then definitely being in Playboy can help your sales increase very much.
I think so.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm in human resources. I work as a consultant. I work there on a part-time basis because I am in school, and I help them with people problems because I love dealing with people and helping people. Okay?
Two things. What effect has this had on your campus life? And this nice lady's daughter goes to Virginia Tech. Let's hear from a mom.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, Virginia Tech.
Oh, well, it's not my daughter, it's my niece, and I'd have a fit if she did this. Number one, if we're sending her to college to get an education, I just want her to be able to consider that 20 years down the road when she wants to be a mayor or president of the United States, she would want that picture on front page.
No, look how it puts her at risk on the campus to have a picture taken like that. She's immediately a potential victim.
Are you ogled on campus?
No. Everybody I know...
Heather, Terry,
like
Sue.
A person. They treat you just the
the
same
day you
as
have
they did
children,
before.
would you want your children to
Everybody
see
else
your
did not have that
pictures?
experience. Heidi did not have that experience.
She's one person.
And there are
in a
other
group of
women
many.
that we have mentioned too.
The day you have children, do you want those children to see your pictures? Or are you going to show them to them and be proud of it?
I want them to grow up and have a mind and make decisions and do their own thing.
Yes.
Just
I got a comment for the doctor there. I don't think we can assume that because men look at Playboy pictures, we're going to abuse women or treat them unfairly. We might look at them at the beauty of the women, and that's about it.
Are you there, caller?
When you say we, do you look at Playboy?
Not very often.
And when you do, what do you do with it? When you look at it, what do you do with it?
He wouldn't look at it over my dead body. He's just saying that these girls have talent, but I don't think it's talent at all.
The point is not whether or not you look at it personally. The point is there are a lot of people out there that you do not speak for, that you have not consulted with, that do it. And there are substantial studies that prove that this is a link with violence and treating women as objects and second-class citizens.
Can I just talk about
And you
the
have no
Can I
control
just- may
over
I
other
just-
people's reception of that.
Are you there?
don't have either.
Hang on just a second. They're upset because I'm not. Hold on one second. Are you there, caller? I thank you for waiting.
Yes, I am.
Not a lot of time, my good man. You sound folksy
there
to me.
won't
Let's
be.
go.
There won't be. You know, the human body's a form of art, whether it be male or female. It's freedom of choice whether these ladies want to pose or not. The picket lines are forcing against that freedom of choice. That's their decision, not anybody else's.
So
if they want to do it, then they're free to do it.
It is our choice because they came onto our
Nobody's got an
campuses.
original statement to make. Can I just talk about the
Well, you know,
studies?
but please don't dismiss the man's point. He's trying to say that don't patronize these women.
We're
That's
not
what
patronising
that's
the
what
women.
men do.
No,
And-
but we're not patronising them at all. We're trying to say that the broader issue goes beyond these women's agendas, and we have to look at the position of women in
yes, we
society.
do. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Yes, Phil, I'd like to just applaud the two women for being on Playboy, very beautiful. But I don't understand the PhD's, where she's coming from. Very pessimistic of the view she's taking on masturbation. I only buy Playboy for the articles, Phil, I'm telling you.
All right, okay. Yeah, give me a chance here. Let me, yes.
You know, you may be beautiful people here, In Playboy, you've become beautiful things.
I think so, yes. Yes.
I just want to say, isn't it strange that any guys that would ask you out at your school have probably seen you naked already?
You
That's
feel
okay.
strange about that? Yes.
My problem is that the women who are usually in Playboy are portrayed as dumb, and they all like to go horseback riding, and they all like to walk on the beach at night. And so if you're an educated college student or a smart woman, why associate yourself in the same magazine?
Why not? It's beautiful.
You what?
Because everyone will assume that your education isn't
Do I
there.
look dumb?
I know a girl that posed.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say.
Yes, you wanted to say what?
I just wanted to say that women pick a prestigious school, a girls' school, for their prestige, a woman's college for their
Yes.
prestige. Now, if you go and pose for Playboy, you're not
bringing it down,
posing
you
for
think?
yourself. You're posing for the whole school.
Yes. Right here, please. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. I just want to make this brief. I wonder if you all remember about the Miss America, Miss Universe that it backfired on. Vanessa Williams. I'm afraid that did backfire. I certainly hope she's very. You're correct.
Phil, could I make a point before?
Yes, you can. As soon as I get just a couple of more here, trying to make it.
Well,
work.
I think ultimately it is their decisions what they do, but I don't get the feeling that you two ladies really care what happens to the rest of the women in this society.
Yes.
I have a question for the gentleman on the end. If you
Yes.
don't think your pictures are pornographic, then I'd like to know what you think is.
Yes. Hang on. Give me a chance here.
Hi, I work in a factory, and there's not too many articles pinned up on the wall.
Yes. You with me?
Yeah. If nudity...
Yes.
Yeah, if nudity is pornography, then wouldn't Sweden and Denmark and those countries have much more rape?
Humongous rape rates in
Yeah.
Sweden, humongous.
Briefly, sir.
Whether music or if you're in the public eye like that, I think you should remember your social responsibilities.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. You'll stand.
Responsibility. Why just the women's responsibility? What about
I
him?
think that we as women have a responsibility to our sisters to love them and think of the future, those of us who have the maturity and the education to help those of you who are so young at this point that you don't understand the ramifications. When I was 18, I thought Playboy was great, too. As I've gotten older and have two daughters now, I've learned the influences of this kind of a magazine. We have to love our sisters because men are running the entertainment business, the media, and if we don't start standing up and thinking about the influence of these things, we're going to suffer.
Yeah. Are you there, caller? Yes. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm
Go
here.
ahead. What?
I am sitting here with a bunch of my college roommates. We go to Michigan State University. We are very angry because we think that if you are confident enough in yourself to be proud of your body, then go ahead and do it. And, you know, we've all seen copies of Playgirl before, but we don't run around throwing ourselves on men because we've seen a picture of a naked man. Now, as far as the rape and violence goes, if you're going to rape somebody, you're going to do it whether there's a copy of Playboy or Playgirl sitting in front of you on the coffee table or not.
All right. I thank you for calling from East Lansing, and we'll be back in just a moment. I am pleased to call the audience's attention to the Playboy Foundation's annual Hugh M. Hefner First Amendment Awards taking place October 25th, 1990 at the Waldorf Astoria. The 25th.
For my group as well. The Women's Alliance Against Pornography. Anyone watching in Boston, you can call us. We're in through the Women's Centre in Cambridge.
Women's Alliance Against Pornography
in Cambridge.
Yes.
At
Who
the
wants
Women's Centre.
this? Please.
Sure,
Jeff.
please.
We have not much time.
Okay.
Let's go.
I would love to run a statement from the group. I understand there's a coalition. There's a group of women that organize all the women's schools. Thank you. Are you going to send me some material so we can run it in the magazine?
You'd like to publish their grievance about
Absolutely.
this?
Or
Okay.
in general, about their concern about women's colleges.
Very good. Very good.
I'd like to take a turn from this and tell everyone that I did have a very pleasurable experience, and I am very proud of what I did.
Yes.
How did the men treat you after you did the...
Some of them were real shy. It was funny. And the people that knew me, some of them would back off, and I would tell them, you treat me the same way.
Susan?
I've been protected, actually, by a lot of
Susan, please.
I'd like to reiterate again. Women that do attend Simmons College are attending the school for a liberal arts education and a pre-professional program, going into areas that they're traditionally male-dominated, and they must think about the
Services
consequences
provided and
of their
promotional
actions.
fees paid by the farmer.
For the perfect weekend and the perfect frequent stay program, check into the new Drake, the only Swiss hotel on Park Avenue.